So we know that the San Francisco 49ers currently are in a predicament with their quarterback situation, not only for the 2022 season, but also projecting forward into next year because Jimmy Garoppolo, final year of his contract, and Trey Lance now has injury issues. So on today's show, going to take a look at some fascinating Niners rumors. Should San Francisco this upcoming offseason in 2023 target Lamar Jackson? He did not reach his deadline of signing an extension with the Baltimore Ravens, and he is set to hit the open market and could be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. Now, when it comes down to this quarterback question mark for this organization, a couple of factors at play as to why San Francisco could look to explore this, and they were named a sneaky destination for Lamar Jackson that we'll unpack here coming up in a few moments. So Jimmy Garoppolo in the final year of his deal. And we know that Garoppolo, as the leader and quarterback of this offense, there's a limit to it. He's certainly hit his ceiling. He doesn't give this offense anything special. And could a dynamic threat like Lamar Jackson totally unlock what Kyle Shanahan wants to do with this offensive system? There are also massive question marks around Trey Lance, the player that he is, because he's only made 21 starts going back to 2019, so the sample size isn't there. He's also dealt with injuries in his first season and change in the National Football League. The knee injury last year against Arizona, the finger injury, and now the broken ankle. So the injury risk and the lack of playing, and we don't know who Trey Lance is as a quarterback, all come to the forefront here with this current conversation. And if Kyle Shanahan wants to continue to insert creativity from that quarterback spot in his offense, and if he wants a quarterback who's mobile in today's NFL, where a lot of teams are looking for those quarterbacks who can run around the pocket and make plays with their legs, is there a better quarterback to do that with than Lamar Jackson? He's one of the best runners of the football in NFL history. And I'm going to prove the doubters wrong as to why he is actually a better passer than what people give him credit for. But our number one poll question for this show, I want to hear from as many people as possible in the comment section here. Should the Niners sign Lamar Jackson in 2023 NFL free agency? Give me an S for sign or a P for pass. Let me know right now in the comment section. There's this notion out there that Lamar Jackson is a terrible passer. That, in fact, is not true. He's been able to take sizable jumps and leaps throughout his NFL career as a passer in the pass game, as a guy who can thrive off play action, of some of those read options, but also just drop back and carve you up from time to time. And you look at the growth that's taken place for Lamar as a passer strictly. Comes in and relieves Joe Flacco in his rookie year, 2018, after he was selected really late by the Baltimore Ravens, slept on by a lot of people. We know that Bill Polian called him a wide receiver. He's turned that into an idiotic statement, but comes in, 7 games played a playoff game his rookie year, only completed 58% of his passes, 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 picks in limited action. The next year, you see the numbers increase here. Completion percentage goes up to 66%. He throws for more than 3,000 yards, 36 touchdowns to 6 picks, en route to an NFL MVP. In 2020, the COVID season, completion percentage goes down a little bit to 64.5%, but still throws for nearly 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. And then last year, a little bit of a rocky season for him. I will say this, Baltimore has not done him a lot of help in bringing in legitimate wide receivers. They've also gone through a plethora of running backs because of injuries there. 64.5% of his passes were completed, less than 3,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. But if you want that dual threat guy, Lamar Jackson is indeed that. 7 career games with more than 200 passing yards and 100 rushing yards. That's extremely rare, and Lamar Jackson's been able to do that a lot. No other quarterback in the history of the NFL has more than 3. And Lamar this past week, against the New England Patriots, we talk about Bill Belichick boosting one of the best defenses in the NFL year in, year out because that's his calling card. Well, if you're going to tell me that Lamar Jackson isn't good as a passer, here's what he did against the Blitz. 9 of 10, 110 yards, and 4 touchdowns against one of the most respected defensive minds that we've ever seen. His numbers through 3 games, he's on his way to possibly competing for another MVP trophy. 749 passing yards, 243 on the ground, 10 passing touchdowns in the first 3 outings, 2 rushing touchdowns, so 12 total. That's an average of 4 per game, 2 interceptions, which is really good, a passer rating of 119. He's completed a little shy of 64% 50% of his passes, and he could very well win his second most valuable player. And if he does, he could break a record for the highest paid contract in the history of the NFL for a quarterback out there. Obviously, San Francisco would have to free up some money, but the athletic intangibles certainly fascinating with this conversation. Now, this is an interesting question for the homies. You are in the shoes of John Lynch, and you have to pick one quarterback to be the face of your franchise moving forward. Who are you going to select to be that guy? Is it Trey Lance? Type TL. Is it Jimmy Garoppolo? Type JG in the comment section. Shoot, is it Lamar Jackson? Then give me an LJ in the comment section. I want to see where all of you are at with this one. If you want to bet on the game of football, make sure you do so with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. If you head to chatsports.com/49bet, promo code Niners125, you get a 125% deposit bonus. You put in $100, you get a free $125 back. The betting odds for Monday night's game against the Los Angeles Rams at Levi's Stadium. 49ers are the favorites in this game. 2.5 is the line. The over-under at 42. So once again, the odds makers expecting this to be a low-scoring NFC West rivalry game like they oftentimes are in this division. Now, many of you might be asking yourselves this question as we further this conversation on the show. Why didn't the Ravens want Lamar Jackson, or why didn't they pay him that contract extension? Something interesting, Lamar Jackson is his own agent. He's not represented by an actual agent out there, and they didn't reach the deadline that he had set to get a contract done by because he didn't want these contract conversations going on throughout the season and being a distraction. There's also this from Ravens general manager Eric DeCosta. Despite best efforts on both sides, we were unable to reach a contract extension with Lamar Jackson. We greatly appreciate how he has handled this process, and we are excited about our team with Lamar leading the way. We will continue to work towards a long-term contract after the season, but for now, we're looking forward to a successful 2022 campaign, and it has in fact been successful up to this point already. As for what Lamar might demand for his next contract, these are the highest paid quarterbacks in guaranteed money throughout the duration of that deal. Deshaun Watson breaking a record, $230 million. Man, that's bold by Cleveland. We already know that. Russell Wilson, he was bad against the Niners on Sunday night, still improved his record to 17-4 against San Francisco, the cornball that he is. Kyler Murray, 160. Aaron Rodgers at 150. And then Josh Allen at 150. And some rumors that the Baltimore Ravens wanted to pay Lamar Jackson more than Kyler Murray, but he wants more than that, so that right there is pretty telling. As for why the 49ers are linked to Lamar, one of the more unique players in this league, really going back to Michael Vick with that dual threat ability and just freaky athletic trait. Maybe removing the shadow of Jimmy Garoppolo will help Trey Lance get it going next year, but it's possible a different move to add a starter would come. The Ravens have shaped their offense around Jackson's dual threat skill set, and Kyle Shanahan seems to envision having a mobile quarterback to fully unleash his offense. While Lance fits that bill, what he does this season will give the Niners head coach strong indications if he's got his guy or not. Obviously, he's gotten injured now. It will take some cap maneuvering for San Francisco to make room for Lamar Jackson, but they can get it done if he's an option next year. So that obviously interesting. And for Kyle Shanahan, his creativity, I think it could work with Lamar Jackson. I mean, all of the pre-snap motion, all of the intertwining of routes, he's able to scheme guys wide open. Oftentimes, we don't see those plays come to fruition like we didn't see on Sunday Night Football because Jimmy Garoppolo was so errant with his throws. And with Lamar's ability to run the football and Kyle Shanahan having his strength of calling plays on the ground game, the Niners could really stick to the bread and butter of what Shanahan wants to do and just run the heck out of the football, and they would be a very difficult offense to stop. Now, the difference between Lamar Jackson running it and Trey Lance is that Trey Lance lacks that speed to get around the corner to the edge. That's why he did run some of those inside powers. With Lamar Jackson, though, you get him out to the perimeter, and there are less bodies there to potentially get him injured. Also, the 49ers, can you just imagine Lamar Jackson on that read option with Deebo Samuel, Ty Davis Price, whoever running backs are here next year, and then he's able to throw it out to a Deebo, throw it out to a Kittle, throw it out to a Brandon Ayuk, a Ray McLeod, or maybe even a Danny Gray. Like, the weaponry that San Francisco has right now, much better than what the Ravens actually have. And we've seen what Lamar Jackson can do with really good defenses. Baltimore has had a couple throughout his NFL career, and they are always a playoff caliber team and among the AFC leaders in wins in that conference. So you build up a team and have a good team constructed around Lamar Jackson. Is it sometimes a little bit unorganic, for the lack of a better term, to see Lamar because he's not that Tom Brady statue in the pocket and he does a lot of things to get out on the run and make plays with his legs? Yeah, it definitely is a little bit different, but him with this play calling, with these weapons, it could be very, very fascinating. So what do you think, faithful? Do you think that the Niners, given the questions at that quarterback spot, they should just put the ball on a tee and swing for the fences and just go all in on a quarterback upgrade? You want them to stick with Trey Lance? Let me know. S for sign, P for pass. If you want to rip me for even exploring this, that's fine, but I like to have open-minded conversations here on the Niners Report.